Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I am Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the month ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the month of November 2020 and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the Western Zodiac. The first card will be from the Everyday Witch Tarot, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with for this month. And the second card will be from Brian Froud's Faeries Oracle, and that will give us some advice on how to deal with the energy of the month. At the very end, I will also be pulling a universal card for everybody who tunes into the video, just to give us a sense of what to carry within ourselves throughout this month. So if you skip to the cards that are pulled for your sign, make sure that you also skip to the very end to get a little bit of that extra goodness in your life this month. So since it is Scorpio season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Scorpios. Scorpio, your tarot card for the month of November 2020 is the Two of Swords reversed. So it might feel like this is a fairly confusing month for you. There's not a lot of direction or clarity of mind. There is some understanding that is developing over this next month, but it might not be what you had expected or what you had wanted when you started this journey of understanding, of deeper clarity. This is a feeling of understanding why you have been anxious, but not necessarily appreciating the knowing that comes along with it. There is frustration and stress, not necessarily anxiety, but stress because of what is making you anxious. Just because you know what is bothering you doesn't mean that it's not still bothering you. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is ecstasis. So Scorpio, over this next month, over the month of November, you are being asked to do what makes you happy. There is stress this month. There is a lot of seeing things as they are, not necessarily how you want to see them, and not knowing what to do with yourself because of all of that. So instead of trying to forge your way forward when there is no clear path or no clear way of clearing the path for yourself, try to look for the good. Look for what makes you happy. Look for the little moments of passion, of ecstasy, of goodness, of pure happiness, and cling to them. Find them. Find what makes you happy and actively use it. Channel it. Connect to it. Don't hold yourself back from these little joys, these little ecstasies, just because there's still so much stress. By focusing on some of the good, you're able to manage the stress a little bit better. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Seven of Pentacles. So there is real appreciation over this next month, Sagittarius, of what you are growing, of what you are developing. Not necessarily obtaining a lot of that or bringing it into your life or collecting or reaping, harvesting it quite yet, but you're seeing the manifestation. You're seeing things come to life, and you're seeing what you can do. And there is real appreciation, not only of what is coming and what you have done and where it's taking you, but of yourself and of what you can do. You are appreciating your own talents and your abilities, and the fact that you can make your dreams into reality. Sagittarius, you're making it happen. And so over this next month, there is a lot of opportunity to be proud of yourself. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is the Death card in this deck, reversed. So there is a sense of not being ready to move to the next stage yet. This is a reinforced message of it's growing. It's manifesting, but it's not quite ready to be collected or harvested or taken into your life. The Death card brings a gift of sorts, a blessing in disguise. But when it's reversed, that gift is still being withheld, or you're not ready to accept it yet. You're not ready to make the necessary sacrifices and leave so much behind in order to make this fresh start quite yet. So take time to enjoy where you are, because this means that there could be this sort of ending coming so that a new beginning can start. So make sure that you are appreciating what you have before the time comes to transition to the next stage. Capricorn, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Three of Pentacles. So this is an excellent card for work, for development, for making things happen, and for improving your own skills and abilities. This is a month of learning what you can do, and there's almost like a fake it till you make it feeling for this month, like mimicking and copying and doing what other people say to do so that you can learn how to do what you need to for yourself. But over this next month, it might feel like you are kind of going through the motions, doing a lot of repetition. This is all for the sake of your own development. So try not to be too frustrated if it starts to feel boring or too repetitive or unoriginal. There will be time for you to do something new and for you to make it your own. But first you need to master these baby steps. Now, the oracle card that comes along for this month is the Pook reversed. So this can mean a little bit of a disconnect from your intuitive self, Capricorn. The message that comes with, intentionally disconnecting from your intuition is to ground yourself in reality. Stay grounded. Don't let your daydreams run away with you. This doesn't say to actively disconnect or sever your connection from your intuition, but you need to balance your intuition out with this grounded energy and recognizing that you are a part of this world that we live in. You have a material, corporeal, physical form, and that needs to be given just as much attention as the spiritual, emotional, mental energy that has no physical form. So over this next month, the emphasis is on that physical self, on that groundedness, and that need to stay present in the material world, in the physical world, not just in your spiritual self. Aquarius, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is Justice. So there's a lot of feeling like, your word is authority right now. You're making decisions for the other people in your life, for yourself, for situations and environments around you. You're the one not necessarily in charge, but making the choices, making the decisions, deciding what goes here and what goes there. This may be a very good month for delegating because you don't have a lot of direct control or power over what happens, but you do have a lot of say in what happens or in the way that things happen. There is also a sense of heightened responsibility for yourself over this month, of doing the right thing, of making the right choices. This is a heavy energy. There's a lot of responsibility, of obligation sitting on your shoulders, and it's not about doing what is easy. So this may not be an easy month, but it is about doing what is right. Now, the oracle card that comes along is the Journeyman reversed. So Aquarius, there's maybe not a lot of forward motion this month. You might be feeling a little bit stuck in this role of justice, of making these decisions for everybody and of making sure that things happen, even though you can't make them happen yourself. You might feel a little stuck, might not feel like you're able to take the steps forward that you want to. This means that you're probably not quite ready. This justice energy needs to happen. It needs to go through you. You need to process it and work with it and work through it. And then you will be able to move forward, to take the steps forward that you want to take. Maybe you don't have the tools right now. Maybe you don't have a clear enough mind to make the decisions that are necessary along your path. So you are being presented with decisions now so that you don't have to worry about meeting them along your way and not knowing what to do. Pisces, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Knight of Wands. So this month feels like a challenge, but it is one that you are ready for. Pisces, you are facing your fears this month. You are facing the challenges that the world is presenting you. It may not be an easy month, but you're up to the task. You're up for it. You are ready for this. You have been preparing for this for a while now. And now it's time to test yourself out and see if you can do it. Even if it's just to prove to yourself that you can. You can prove it to everybody else, but it doesn't matter until you believe it yourself. So you are facing your own challenges, your own inner demons, your own fears, and doing what you can to make sure that they don't come back to bother you in the future. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is Epona's Wild Daughter reversed. And so there's a sense of needing to not necessarily face your grief, because it's like you've faced it already. You've been facing it, and you may have ended up facing it so long that you've gotten a little too comfortable with it. You're holding on to it. Now the advice is to look forward. Stop looking back. You've done enough looking back in order to face this challenge and beat the dragon presented in the Knight of Wands. You need to be looking forward and preparing yourself for the path that is to come. You've done the learning from your past. Now it's time to look forward and have some optimism, Pisces. Look on the bright side rather than wallowing in your grief. Now is the time to leave it behind and let it stay behind. You don't need this to follow you anymore. Aries, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Four of Pentacles reversed. So this may not be the best month for your material structures. It could feel like some of your savings are starting to be a little bit depleted. You might have to dig into them a little bit this month. The work that you have been developing is not necessarily going the way that you want it to. It might feel like it's all crumbling out from underneath you. You might be feeling a little bit unstable or unsure of the life that you are building, not just work, not just finances, but your own life and your manifestation and development and growth. As far as making life what you want it, you are unsure this month, Aries, as to whether that is what is happening. Is this the life that you want? Is it building the way that you want it to? You're not totally sure right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along for this month is Himself. So you are being asked to connect to some of this divine masculine energy that is presented in this card. Trust your instincts. Act based off of your instincts, based off of your passion. Don't just sit still and wait for things to happen. If it feels like nothing is happening, this card is about taking control, of shaping your own fate, of shaping things in a way that you want them to be, rather than letting other people define them for you. If this month you are finding that life is not developing the way that you want it to, you have this power, this control, this ability to reshape it, to redefine the way that your life is developing so that it takes you in a direction that is relevant to who you are now and who you are becoming, not just who you used to be. Taurus, your tarot card for the month of November 2020 is the Hanged Man. So this month might not be showing a lot of growth or active development or substantial, surprising movement. You might feel a little bit stuck, a little bit grounded or rooted where you are right now. This is a good month for rest, for processing, for looking at things in ways that you haven't considered before, looking at things from new perspectives, especially since you're not able to take a lot of direct action or make a lot of drastic movement. Just because you're a little bit grounded doesn't mean that you can't use this time to your own highest benefit. The Hanged Man, it shows up for a reason, because you need to take a step back. You need to look at things from a different angle or just wait it out. This is not a time to be rushing forward, and so your energy over this next month is not being given an opportunity to do any rushing. Now, your oracle card for this month is Lise of the Shadows, which is, this is the darkness in the or the light in the shadows, the light at the end of the tunnel, the light in the dark corners. This is, rather than just being darkness, you are reminded that there is always a glimmer of light, a glimmer of hope. So you are being asked to look on the bright side, especially while you are feeling this grounded, rooted, maybe too stable energy. Maybe you're worried about stagnating. Try to look for your opportunities, the opportunities that are here, even though it feels like they're not really opportunities because they're not leading you forward, but they are helping your growth, your development, your self-improvement in where you are right now. We can't always make huge leaps and bounds. Sometimes we have to stay still and learn. And so Lisa of the Shadows is here to help guide you through this potential darkness or fear or uncertainty by giving you little glimmers of optimism and opportunities to see things from ways that you hadn't looked up before. Gemini, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Magician. So over this next month, some of the magic is coming back into your life, and it feels like you have a bit more control over what you are manifesting and the direction that your life is taking. The Magician is able to manipulate and reshape his surroundings into what he needs it or wants it to be. And so Gemini, you have this power this month. You have this ability to reshape and redefine not necessarily who you are, but the way that you are developing and the environment around you. If it's not supporting your goals, you can make it into something that is, or you can clear things out so that you have room for what will support you. You have this sense of control, and taking action over this next month is very possible. Not only possible, it's encouraged. It is being encouraged and guided by universe, by divine, hands on your shoulders saying, you've got this, you can do this, make it happen. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is Tatian the Sylph, reversed. The reversal is important. Tatian the Sylph reversed. So this reversal, it reminds you to do the work. You have a lot of control, a lot of power right now, and that could be easy to get a little carried away with, and especially if you go, well, I can do this later. Tatian the Sylph's reversal comes up to say, no, make sure that you're getting your chores done. Do the hard work before you enjoy the spoils. This isn't about having fun in the moment right now. This is not necessarily a fun month. It's a very empowering month, and there is a lot of fun within it. But there's a lot of work to be done. So it's really important that you do the work before you have all of the fun, because otherwise you won't get the work done by the time that you need it done. Cancer, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Seven of Cups. So you are being asked to make a choice over this next month. There are a lot of opportunities for you, a lot of priorities presenting themselves, and it is up to you to prioritize. Every one of these things is somewhere on your priorities list. So it's up to you to determine and define where on this list everything gets to sit. If something is very, very important and you need to deal with it right now, there is the risk of temptations popping up all around you. Maybe I want to do this now. Maybe if I do this first, it will help me get this done. So this is a potentially a very confusing month for you, Cancer. And as far as actually making things happen goes, there's a lot of potential, a lot of basically potential to make your dreams come true. But the risk is of getting so caught up in those dreams that you just stay imagining it and you don't put any practical, if you don't put any practical application behind all of these dreams, they will stay dreams. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is Honesty Reversed. So as you are making all of these decisions, you will probably also be talking about this with the people in your life and asking their advice and letting them know your needs so that you can make the right decisions. Now, the Honesty card is reversed because you're being asked to not necessarily divulge everything that's going on with you. Keep some secrets, Cancer. You don't need to tell everybody everything. They don't need all the details in order to help you make a decision. Especially because you need to be the one making these decisions for yourself when it comes down to it. So there's a risk of letting other people influence your choices. And if that is what happens, then your dreams are not going to be the ones coming true. You're just helping other people's dreams come to reality instead. Leo, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So there's a kind of ungroundedness, especially in your material self. There's a sense of disconnecting or wanting to disconnect from the world around you and kind of wanting to avoid obligation or release some of your responsibilities. You may not be at the point of being ready to release these responsibilities. These may be things that you just don't want to do anymore, but they still need to get done. So there is this risk of, if you leave this all behind, if you spend this month just doing whatever, drifting from here to there and not focusing on what needs to get done and not staying grounded in the world around you, that all of these things that you don't want to do right now, you're still going to have to do them, but when you get around to it next month or the month after or whenever you do, it will be a lot more work and a lot less. It's not like it's going to be fun now, but it's going to be way less fun if you keep putting it off. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is the Singer of the Chalice. So you are being asked to feel your feelings, connect to your emotional self, Leo. Try not to disconnect from the material world in favor of your feelings, but if you are finding yourself so disconnected from the world around you that you just don't want to experience it, the advice is to instead focus on your feelings. So you're going to have to pick your battles this month, Leo. Either do the work that needs to get done or have fun processing your feelings and going into your emotional self and connecting to all that so that you can do the other work that needs to get done. You're either going to have to focus on your material self and balancing that out, or connect to your inner self and work on balancing that out. So either way, Leo, like I said, pick your battles. It's going to be a month of either inner work or outer work. Take your pick. Virgo, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Page of Wands reversed. So you might be dealing with a little bit of uncertainty as to where you're going right now. It feels like you're trying to make a fresh start in some way, feeling like, I need to start over, I need to start a new path, I need to start taking care of myself better. But when it comes down to actually making that happen, you're not sure what to do. So there's this sense of stalling before starting your new journey. This may be a good time to work on learning, processing, figuring out what it is that you want and how you can make that happen, because there's not a lot of actual movement forward right now. So you can use this time, instead of driving yourself forward because you're so close to being ready, to actually make yourself ready. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is Mick the Meomancer reversed. So you are being asked to start looking forward. The reason that you may be so stuck right now, Virgo, is because you are still looking back. Mick the Meomancer is normally about looking backwards and traveling back through memory. But when he's reversed like this, and especially with the reversed Page of Wands, when you're stalling and you're not quite sure, you're just being asked to look forward and start to take one step at a time, one step forward at a time. If you don't feel like you're ready, that's okay. But don't look backwards on who you used to be. That won't make you ready for who you are becoming. Look forwards at what you want and start to figure out your plan for moving forward. Libra, your tarot card for the month of November 2020, is the Ace of Cups reversed. So over this next month, you might be dealing with some emotional exhaustion. You've probably been spending so much of your emotional self taking care of other people, being there, being someone to lean on, being present and holding space for everybody else. And now the time has come for you to need that space for yourself. So you're probably a little bit overdrawn, a little bit burnt out. There's not a lot left inside of you to give away anymore. So you're at this point, Libra, where this next month you're going to need all of that energy for yourself. Try not to feel guilty about being selfish right now, because if you're going to be there for anybody else in the future, you need to be there for yourself right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is Lacey, Moon's daughter, also reversed. And it's similar to what the reversed Ace of Cups is saying, is take time to yourself. Look back a little bit. Normally, this card would be about having optimism and looking forward and turning yourself to the future. But right now, you're just tired. You're just tired and you need a break. So give yourself a rest. You don't need to always be happy, Libra. You don't always have to put on that brave face and be there and share all the goodness with everybody else. If you need this month to yourself, take it. You can't be everything to everybody else. And you are being advised to not pretend that everything is okay when it's not, especially if it's not. You're not being asked to express all of that and to, make anybody be there for you or ask anybody to be there for you, ask anybody for help. That's not coming up for this. But you can say no. You're allowed to say no, Libra, and you're allowed to be unhappy when you are not happy. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation, motivation, affirmation deck, the Super Attractor. So I have pulled one card for everybody who tunes into this video, just to give us an idea of what we should be carrying within ourselves, focusing on with our energy throughout this coming month. So the card that I have got says, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. Now, affirmations, they can be a little bit personal, but let me know in the comments down below what this one says to you. To me, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day. That's peace. That is calm. And the inner sense of quiet to me is the opposite of anxiety. So it's like allowing the quiet to multiply, to take over the anxious voice, to muffle it, to quiet and bring peace to the anxious voice. Each day, as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe, as I believe that universe loves me, that helps to ease my own jumbled anxiety, anxious messages. But that's my interpretation. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the month ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to offer guidance, clarity, whatever you need to help you get through this coming month. Please like the video if it sang to your soul, if the cards that were pulled resonated for you, and let me know in the comments what you thought of the cards pulled for your sign, what you thought of the Super Attractor at the very end, what that one said to you, what you'd like to see in the future. If you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. I post monthly forecasts like this and one every week to give us a similar thing, the sense of what's coming and how to navigate throughout it. And I will make sure to leave a link to my Facebook page in the description down below, Hedgewitch Hearthcraft, if you follow me there. I post a daily free card just to give us a sense of what we should be carrying within ourselves, how to work towards our own highest good. And that's also the best way to reach me if you ever want to book a reading of your own. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for letting me read for you. I hope you have a fantastic month, and blessed be.